Cold. I don't care how not sensitive your teeth are. Shotgunning like right out of a cold fridge beer is not fun.
No, it's
even just
time.
like just trying to fucking
Hurts all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that hurt all the way down, welcome to the Talking Reckless Video Game Podcast. Poo, 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 poo. Nice face, Andrew Captain. That sounded weird. He's making a face, not me. I'm not just casually. Hey, nice face.
He's lying. I was just sitting here and he just made fun of my face.
Hey, is your face sore? Brandon Lynch?
I'm here. My face is totally normal. Can't comment on it either way.
Good. That's the way to be. My face is ambivalent. Hi, I'm Matt Eads. Do I say my name off the top? I was thinking about that the other day. Do I always name myself twice? Hi, welcome to the show. Talking about this video game podcast. My name's Matt Eads. I totally do. It's just all, when you say a thing so much, you don't even know the meaning of. You're just like sounds that I've made every week for the last 10 years.
When there's only three of us, you introduce yourself twice and have to talk twice as much.
It's that fourth slot.
We've go ahead.
It says in our contracts that we do not increase our amount of chatter just because we don't have a fourth chair.
That's right. I have to pick up the slack, or we usually just leave longer pauses, kind of pad out the runtime a bit. My ambivalent face, thinking very carefully, very seriously about shaving my beard. It's got about 3 years into it. I'm just kind of, just feeling it out here for the folks at home. Got about more than that, actually. 4 years into it. I've lived here for 4 years, so yeah, just over 4 years into it now.
Warren just shaved his beard. Was this a source of the inspiration?
No, I just have a very long beard. If you have not seen my face, it's about, I don't know, foot plus now. It's like 14 inches, 16 inches, something like that. Long and unwieldy, and like prone to tangles, and it's kind of a hassle to maintain. It was just so much easier when I had a shorter beard.
Friggin' man's getting smothered by women 24/7.
Yeah, I mean tune into Tron if you want to. I had to get some medical assistance.
Like you've told stories before, Matt, about how like sometimes when the doorbell rings with your DoorDash order, you gotta look through the peeper hole and have a bat ready to go just in case there's a couple of ladies outside looking to jump you.
My cans of mace.
Yeah.
Ready.
You ever just find a woman in your pants and not know how she got there?
Boy, I mean, not just women. All right, let's play it straight here.
Men, women, animals.
Yes, boy, the things I find in my pants. The title of my memoir. It's really thinking about shaving my beard, but it's a big commitment. Well, it's not a big commitment, but like you can't go back, I guess is the thing. And I've been the beard guy for so long. I've been letting my hair grow a little bit to see how that maybe I'll clean shave and like I'll just rock the balding guy look for a while. But like I'm turning my head in the camera. It's pretty thin. It's like white on the sides. It's big time white on the sides too.
I mean, I think you should do whatever you want, but you're not selling me as being like, I've been the big beard guy for a while, and maybe I should just switch to the balding guy.
Yeah, maybe I just don't need to be a guy, And like it was a thing. It was a thing for Twitch. I'm thinking about getting a hot tub. Is really what I'm getting at. I think I don't need the beard anymore to make it in this biz. I think
you need a hot tub.
The hot tub is gonna be
smaller swimsuits.
Real talk. I think when we get in the new place, I am gonna like do me in a little tub streaming video games or something in that new fucking hot tub channel just as a form of protest. This is what you wanted, Twitch.
I don't protest the hot tub.
Look at my body.
I like them.
Well, Twitch has come out and said what's their statement? They will never persecute someone for being conceived as sexy. That's right. Yeah. So I'm safe.
That's the first thing Twitch has ever said that I've agreed with.
Yeah, no, totally. That's I mean it's a bad statement. That statement is like completely unrelated to. It's not completely unrelated to the issue, but it's like the dangling keys. Where like, yes, there is genocide going on in Gaza right now, but what about the oil pipeline in Alberta? Like, it's just a little. It's a nothing. It's a meaningless statement to make people go, well, of course they can't. That's ridiculous. Anyways, there's a new hot tubs channel on Twitch now. Hot tubs. That's a win. Beaches.
Anyway, you slice it.
I forget what it is. It's 3 things: hot tubs, swimming, and beaches, or something maybe.
It's also stupid that it's a thing, though. But yes,
People want to. It's just there are better venues for getting that kind of entertainment. Don't get me. I think people should be allowed to show their bodies, and other people should be more than allowed to look at and enjoy those bodies if they so choose. And if everything's above board, why not? But like there are better venues. You don't need to.
You just wish that it was like instead of twitch.tv/sexy people, it was
sexy people. .twitch.tv or something.
Right, yes. /hot tubs.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird getting into a space that primarily, well, at a time was 100% about video games. In fact, you were banned if you were off topic broadly on video games. And now it's just become this... I'm as guilty as anybody. I get on there and like, we're making French onion soup or whatever. But, I don't know. It's
you
weird.
need to be making fresh onion soup in a hot tub.
Yeah, definitely.
Or at least a bikini.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It would be, man, this Twitch thing would be a lot easier if I were attractive, let me tell you.
So, I think I remember, but the hot tub came in because it was the only way to stream in a swimsuit. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to justify the swimwear.
Like, that's just a win, I think. I think that's a win for people. I know Twitch is changing, and I'm sorry that it is also affecting your business in some ways. But
not really.
I like that it was these people want to be sexy people, and then Twitch is like, you can't be a sexy person if you're not in an appropriate situation. And then they're like, we'll go get a hot tub, and then Twitch is like, we concede. Here's the hot tub channel.
Just the like Twitch logo and a hot tub streamer sitting at a chess table and just like pushing the king over. Just
yeah, that's great. Like that's
checkmate.
Strip away all what the what the topic is about. This was the every man and woman getting one up on the corporation. Although the corporation still gets handsomely rewarded for people watching the hot tub streams.
It's true. The corporation doesn't give a fuck. They just have to pretend like they do. It turns out advertisers don't care where their ads are run if they're on a Call of Duty stream or a hot tub stream.
Mm-hmm.
Just want eyes on ads.
Specifically, advertisers want to have their ads run wherever people is watching.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. It is weird, and the outcry against it is weird. It's like morphed into this whole thing where if people didn't make such a big deal out of it, it wouldn't be this giant big deal that it's made into now. Andy, are you seeing what Brando's camera is doing?
No, is it puking rainbows?
It's doing something. It's back now. Okay, that was weird. I guess only I see the stream side. We have these little preview bars. Moving soon. Camera's not going to be an issue. Hopefully.
I'm over 2,000 today. We got a good. It's the supercomputer is firing on all cylinders.
2,000. That's very high. Crush my scouter. What was I just saying?
Hot tubs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know either.
Shaving the
Back in
beard.
studio. Moving soon. Moving next week. That's right. If we talked about it a little bit in Tron, but moving next week, so probably, or rather, I will be in the process of moving when this podcast goes up. So probably won't hear or see too much of me, but I'm gonna set up stop if you've heard this one before. I'm gonna set up a new studio at the new place, which is gonna be cool. I got plans. I've decided. The problem at Kevin's place, where we have the studio now, is that
It's haunted.
Well, yeah, that's less of a problem, more of a feature. But it's his parents' house. He just squats there, and they could at any point just be like, "We're gonna sell the house. You gotta go find a place to live or whatever." And so couldn't damage the walls. Couldn't put anything on the drywall. Didn't want to have any like drywall repair or anything. So I had to mess around with. If you've ever watched any of our like D&D streams or when we were in studio, built like this big pipe structure that went over the table and like had to hang these big foam pads off like a bunch of stickies on the wall and try to get them up and like moving blankets on temporary hooks and shit. Really, just trying to make it work as best we could. But in the new place, I've just decided, fuck it. I should just put my hammer through the drywall the second I get there. Just break the seal. Paf! Can't go back now. Let's fucking hang all these things on the walls. I'm gonna screw into these studs. I'm gonna mount a TV up there. I'm gonna maybe hang things from the ceiling. Fuck it, let's go.
They didn't make you sign. Not that I'm discouraging you from doing it, regardless of anything you signed. But did they make you sign anything saying that you would not do that?
No, I don't. It's
No question mark. No question mark.
no question mark.
Yeah.
And hang things on the walls. It's
Yeah, you can. I mean, I'll put like pictures up on the walls. I think I
Yeah.
actually signed something that said I was not going to mount my TV, but
Oh, really?
no.
Oh shit, maybe I do need to check.
You
into
might
that.
not have,
I
though.
mean,
Like,
whatever. Even if I do
Yeah.
it, when they were like, "You get that TV off the wall," I'll be like, "It's
Yeah.
already up there. What do you?" Like I
Depends on the apartment, I think.
yeah. It's
you might not get a damage deposit back. or something.
I'm fully prepared. I'm fully expecting to have that room at the very least sanded and painted to fix the. Listen, when I say holes in the walls, I mean like the size of a nail, not literally put my hammer through the wall, but.
I mean, whether or not you put your hammer through a wall or not, time is going to come, and I'm just assuming this is going to happen with every place that man lives in. One Warren Barris is probably going to put himself through a wall at some point. So
I hope that was scary. I hope that doesn't happen again. That was we were at a party. Granted, everyone was drinking, so it is like very easily excused away. But he just stood up and then just fucking fell over right into the wall, just through the drywall. It was a real record scratch. Like, holy shit, is everything okay? Moment. I hope that don't break our drywall. What if he? So Eva likes to get under feet. I've had problems where I trip and die over Eva. I'm worried that Warren is gonna break his neck. I'm worried that Eva is gonna like trip him and he's gonna just and that'll be the end of it.
I mean, Warren could take a bump.
He'll be
Yeah. He's slipped on ice and stuff and
I guess
all sorts of shit. It's not like he's not a fragile man. He's just
no.
if he
don't
runs
know.
into something, that something has less of a chance than if we run into something.
Yeah. Well, if he, I'm not too worried about Eva per se. I'm more worried if Warren falls on Eva, she will.
No, that'll be a problem.
He will die.
If that's what you meant to say during this whole conversation,
no, not
then
like flat.
Yeah.
But if Warren and Eva come into a tangle, like I think Eva will probably come out on top. She's pretty.
I think if Warren wants
scrappy.
that cat gone, he will
not
pretend it's an accident.
I don't think he's right. He pretends he doesn't like cats, but I bet he's a big softie. Like everybody, she'll jump up and snuggle up with him once, and then that'll be that.
Yeah, be his best friend.
Yeah, she's never been around people other than me, so she's super skittish. So I worry a little bit that they might be a little confrontational. When my mom came to visit, Eva was not very friendly, I guess.
Warren's like always home though, so
Yeah.
I would imagine that she'll get used to him pretty quickly.
Yeah, I got a plan to just have Warren feed her like twice, and that'll probably be enough.
Give her some treats.
Yeah, she's usually like she has a lot of issues. You got to clean her ears and give her eye drops and all this stuff. Turns out I adopted a very sick cat, which was the exact opposite of what I wanted. They're like, no, she's been screened for all these viruses. She's healthy. Apparently not, but she can be just like tail up, claws out, super mad, hiding under the bed, and then the second the food bag, like a dog or something, the second the food bag jingles, she just comes charging out. She's a very good cat. We should all get cats.
I've thought about getting a cat.
Yes, I thought about getting more cats. Just one more.
I don't know.
Just
I don't
one
know where
more.
I'd put the litter and shit here though. There's
It's
no
not
good
so
spot.
bad. Mine's like, how big is your kitchen? Mine's off in the corner of the kitchen.
Yeah, my kitchen's like it's gonna be in front of something no matter where it is.
Yeah, or like pantry, or not pantry, but like closet storage
Yeah,
or something
I've
with
thought
the door
about
open.
I've thought about leaving the laundry room door open because that's where there's quite a bit of space and it would be the perfect place. Except
That's where a lot of people.
the
come.
door swings inward and really like blocks like my bedroom door then, and it gets in the way of the bathroom. Like it's not a convenient door to have open all the time. So
You just take it off.
I'm sure I signed something about that.
I will not mount
you-
TVs nor take off doors.
Yeah, if you
yeah.
took it off though, you could store it somewhere and then just put it back up if you ever left. Can't see it, but yeah, whatever. They probably get mad.
He's handy. If the women don't find you handsome, Brando. I'm sure there's more to that, but I've never.
They should at least find you handy.
Woo! I'm funny today. Man, I'm just shooting thousands. You guys want to talk about some video games?
Yeah, we do
Fine.
that.
Long story short, tune into Tron to hear how this went. I
Set
tried
the
to get
timer for the minimum amount of video game talk we need to do before we don't get banned off Twitch.
we were way past. We are way past. Long story short, from last week, trying to get my money back for Broken Returnal. Don't do that. It turns out Sony has a very don't fuck around and get returns when we say no returns policy. And
You found out.
Yeah,
you fucked around and you found out.
That's right. I talked shit and got hit. They'll just swing the ban hammer at you. They'll ban you from your entire PlayStation account, potentially locking you out of thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars of software purchased over. When did the PS3 come out? A long time. Tune into Tron over on patreon.com/Talking Markets Podcast to hear all about that.
You can hear Matt Eads break down and cry.
I mean, I think that we shouldn't stigmatize crying so much, especially in men. Andrew?
Well, it's for entertainment purposes. You can though. You use it as a selling feature.
Wait, what? For entertainment? Like, what do we like? Is that your kink or?
No, that's I don't know, a little nugget to get people over to the Tron, being like, "Oh, Matt Eads balled his eyes out." Sure, we all say that we should normalize it and not make it a stigma, but you can't tell me that there's not people listening. They're like, "Oh, did he actually?" And they're going to dip over there and try to find out.
I've never cried in my life. No one's going to believe.
Oh, now you ruined the
that
tease
to begin with. Also, he's a bad tease. Is what I'm saying. I heard you. Speaking of bad teases, heard you say Monday instead of Tuesday. Something on the radio. We were like, "Oh, it'll be happening on Monday." Wait, Monday's a holiday. Tuesday.
Oh, yeah,
Seems like you guys have some stuff to iron out. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, we're gonna. You just want to step out for a sec.
I was in a voice track too. I recorded it, and in the middle of recording it, I could have redone it, and I didn't.
I even wondered if it was a like. Sometimes if I got nothing to say for this last break, I'll like fake when I was on the radio. Granted, fake a fumble like that and be like, "Oh me, what a dummy I am." See ya.
No, I legitimately screwed up.
Nah.
When I make errors, they're errors.
I just gave you. I like strapped the chute to your back and put the cord in your hand, and you're like, no. I prefer to die.
Give me
it's
the
fine.
concrete.
Yes.
Yeah, I go out with my pride.
That's right.
I'm not gonna fake it.
You guys want to talk about some video games?
No,
Yes.
Not really.
time.
I know. Me neither. You want to talk about Destiny, Andy? We're playing some Destiny. We played a little Destiny.
Yeah, we were doing that again this week. Vault of Glass is out this week. You keep giving me shit over everything I do and all my plans that I say I have. You're like, "Hey, Andy, we got to get your light level up." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'll get there." "Oh, I guess we're going to be doing the Vault of Glass 4 weeks after it comes out." Hey,
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I
and he's
didn't
like,
give you
"I've got to go
the
eat some
only
breakfast."
thing. So-
It's a breakfast. You know who's not eating breakfast right now is the people in the Vault of Glass.
Matt Eads texted me yesterday. He's like, "Andy, I'm doing 12 hours of Iron Banner today. Where are you?"
I was 9 hours in when I texted him. Like, you want to jump in for this last 3 hours of my 12 hours of Iron Banner? And then
what's really smart is Eads knew the entire time that he wanted to get those 9 hours that Andy didn't.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm not going to be the fucking second fiddle on this team.
Andy gets so mad. We're playing Iron Banner, the sweatiest of the sweaty. Well, second sweatiest of the sweaty. There's one tier even more competitive. And he already at a disadvantage because it takes your level into account, and he's a little bit lower than the max. And also is using this fucking bow, is literally the only person I've seen in PvP using the bow, and then getting just crushed by this fucking shotgun that everybody uses, myself included, because it's really strong, and just getting more and more upset. It's just like, I get a goddamn. Maybe you should just join the dark side, Andy.
So
Just
you
join
should
the dark
check
side.
the leaderboard, Matt. Who's up there with you every single time we get a W?
Yeah. He's getting
Who's
so
right
mad.
there?
He's getting so mad, and then the last
Neck
thing you
and
hear at the
neck.
end of the game is like, well, at least you did good. I'm like, yeah. Damn,
Well, there's a
goddamn
couple.
right I did.
There's a couple I genuinely was.
I'm over here telling him, like, you should try different weapons. He's like, I don't know, I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I'm not even gonna try them. It's a binding decision. If you pick up another gun, you can never go back.
I like Iron Banner because they will tell me that my light level will be taken into account, so that when I'm getting my shit mixed in there, I'm like, oh, it's not me. It's the fucking light level. You know what? I'm just here to have fun. And these guys are way better than me. They've been playing longer. They got more late level. It's when the game tells me that everything's on the even and square and level. That's when I realize that the problem is I'm bad at video games.
Are you mad, Andrew?
No, I'm not mad. I know the truth. You out here spitting your lies.
Oh, okay. He does. He uses Le Monarch.
Yeah, and I'm dope as shit with it.
He's pretty good
It's
with
been a few
it.
times
but, I
you've
mean,
been like, oh shit.
the reason
I'm like, yeah.
I was thinking about this like long and hard on why you don't ever see bows, and I think I totally nailed it, especially in the Iron Banner, where because a bow you always need like 2 headshots to kill no matter what, right? It's always 2 fires, but with faster firing weapons, the time to kill will just be faster. Instead of happening on fire 2, unless it's a hand cannon or something that shoots slow, it'll happen on like fire 1.7 or whatever, which means they don't get to shoot back at you. I was thinking a lot about Destiny PvP this week. A lot. Ask me anything.
Sorry.
Know thy enemy,
that's rough.
and you'll know thyself. I think the Traveler said that.
I don't want either of you to take this the wrong way. Just the reaffirmation that I made the right decision right now is.
And so as we were playing Iron Banner as well, we kept encountering so many AFKers that I then went on to just AFK a bunch of games and grind it out that way, because if you can't beat them, join them.
Yep.
And so yeah, I got another like 5 games in of like, I'm just
all
gonna...
you got to do is just play the games.
Yeah, well, if you end, you get tokens and a chance at the Iron Banner weapons. So yeah, you just have to put time in, which means there is a huge amount of people who do what I did and just like play. I was playing Hearthstone on my computer and would just like mash the controller every now and again, and if it vibrated, I'm like, yep, I'm good. I'm in a game. That means my gun is shooting. Later.
I mean, I guess do what the game lets you do and just complain about the game, I suppose.
What can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do? I need those weapons. And there was a point where I lost almost like 13 or 14 in a row before Andy joined up with me, where every single one was AFK around the team. And then we started seeing them on the other team. And it was fun to get free kills, but like there's a whole other problem. We're like, oh, I wasted my super on the AFK guy. It's a lot of problems in that PvP still. The Trials of Osiris last season, people were just agreeing to lose. They're like, how about there's some kind of way to tell if you're a lose team or a win team, and you basically enter the trials over and over again until the raffle dictates that you get to win. And everybody just helped everybody. We basically like, I'll lose for you, then you lose for me, then we'll lose for this person. And like everybody just kind of teamed up to be like, this is fucking stupid, but we all want these weapons.
All right, I'm in. I like this. It sounds like socialism.
I think they fixed it, unfortunately.
The one thing I do want to say for people who maybe are thinking about getting into Destiny and are hearing all this stuff and are like, oh, I don't know. I didn't interact with Iron Banner or Trials of Osiris at all. And I had a great time playing Destiny. You can like go raid and do all this shit. You don't need to like get every gun in the game, like you do. I'm not saying you don't. You do.
It's like Pokemon.
But as a person who's played a lot of Destiny and never had all the guns, you definitely do not need to get all the guns.
Yeah, just like Pokemon. Some people play to beat the final 4. Some people play to collect them all. Some people play to hit level 99.
Mm-hmm.
Could learn a lot from Pokemon, Andrew.
I know.
Man's not happy.
Good. Yes. His arms crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I actually liked Pokemon before any of you fucking guys.
What do you think of this new season, Andrew? You missed out last season, and
Yeah, I've talked about it a little bit more, and we played a little more of it. I don't think that the season event is anything special, but it's all right. It's better than Season of the Hunt, which is the one thing I have to compare it to. And I like where the story's going. The story's going some places, which is good. It hasn't really been any new weapons that I've really been like, oh, this is a really fun new weapon that I have to get. Apparently, there's some shotgun for fucking PvP I got to get.
That's an old one. That's an old weapon.
Okay. So yeah, that's I really right now I'm just kind of looking for like the reason I'm playing right now is so I can do Vault to Glass and finish my season pass. Those are kind of 2 reasons. Like I have weapons that have good rolls on them that work really well for me in PvE. Nothing for PvP really, but I don't really care. So like I'm not really looking hard for weapons. Like if they come, I'll be happy, but like I don't need any of the new guns with god rolls or anything like that. So yeah, so I'm just essentially playing for that raid. I really want to do the raid, so and maybe get play a bunch of other raids so we can get that.
Anarchy. We get enough.
Did you just stop? Sorry,
Yeah.
did you just stop talking mid-sentence to take a drink of beer?
Yeah, he did.
No,
and
I'm
then,
done.
And then I frantically
Like trying
really.
to pull together the rest of the sentence.
Yeah, you're like,
you were not done.
we need to do another
You
raid so we
literally-
can get that.
Did I?
No.
I thought I took it at the end.
No,
No.
you didn't tell me what the thing was.
And then I had to the anarchy, the grenade
Play a bunch
launcher
of raids so we can get that
drink.
gone.
This is the greatest 5-star podcast. Please rate and review.
I didn't even notice. I do that all the time
Hey,
because whenever I get off on a topic that I enjoy, I like it's usually like when I'm having some beverages or like I'm chilling with Brando at the bar and I'm fucking just rambling on about stuff and I just like take sips in between it.
The beginning of sentences are the important part. At the end, we figured most of that out. Brain fog. I'm with you. It's this season of Destiny, season of the Splicer. It feels a little fillery. There's no like there hasn't been a cutscene yet, which seems weird. The season opens and they're just like, I don't know, the sun's out. I guess you should probably go shoot
Get
some
your guns out.
guys. Yep. Here. Woo!
We're gonna bring this back around.
Wow, sun's out, guns out. How did they not? How are you the first person to say that in relation?
Well, I would have said it faster, but I was ironically mid-sip when he dropped the sun zone.
Damn, how is that not like on their trailer for the fucking season?
I would bet they would have got me. They
Yes.
would have got me day
The Led
if it was
Zeppelin
just-
and the sun's out, guns out.
If the tagline for the new season was just "Suns out, guns out," I'd be like,
And
"See you boys there."
And I want a cut scene where the last thing that's said in that cut scene before it fades to black is Zaval going, "Sun's out, guns out."
Yeah. No, someone else says sun's out to him,
Sun's
and he
out.
says guns out. Last season, they started with a cutscene, which was like the story they told between weeks had a cutscene every week, which was like well done and cool, and like that's Andy and I quote it all the time. That's where we get that really great no out of Zavala, fucking space cop.
Yeah,
Lance Reddick, heck of an actor. Except in he's not. He's doing quite the accent in Castlevania, I'll say. Downright unbelievable.
it's not just Lance. The only really thing I need from Lance Reddick is Lance Reddick a read.
No, he's doing like I don't know what the accent is. You know the pirate from Game of Thrones, that like the friend of Sir Davos, that rich dude. He's doing like that accent, but it's obviously Lance Reddick because he has such a like distinct low voice that always goes down at the end of sentences. But he has like a weird accent.
You excited for that House of the Dragons thing?
I not excited, but like I've been hurt before, you know.
I know.
I'm ready to love
remember,
again, but
I mean, I don't want to say. Never get your hopes up for anything. That's the moral of this podcast. But they are at least telling a story with an ending now.
Yes, yeah, and it's not D&D. I don't think are involved at all.
Yeah, I don't think those guys are going to have a lot of work anymore.
I mean, they were making a Star
always have
Wars
work.
until very recently.
Well, I thought that got canceled shortly after the season finale.
I don't know when it got
Those guys
canceled,
are
but it did.
those guys are too big. Like just because people didn't like the ending, those guys are they've wrote their ticket for years to come. They made more money for a fucking broadcast channel than anyone in human history.
And at least the
That's probably not
first like 6 seasons, you're like, well, these were really well received.
Mhm.
You know, on the whole, the track record's pretty good, I guess. Anything closing on Destiny, Andrew? I should probably open my notes here for the podcast.
No, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. Looking forward to the raid. That'll be the next thing we talk about, and
it's
then
open.
I will put that game down for another season.
I saw somebody or the world first got done today. They're verifying. Are we getting jackets? We getting jackets, boys? Fall the glass, clear the raid, order that dumbass $200 jacket that only people who've cleared the raid can order. Apparently,
I'm not doing the raid with you guys.
You'll be there. You'll be there.
And if I'm gonna buy anything, it's gonna be an Elixir baby thing. So
Yeah, me too.
I want to buy a
BS.
mock championship belt. I want to buy the raid championship. Have you guys?
I'd get like a plushy ghost.
I might get a plushie ghost. They for real have a like championship belt, a belt-ass belt.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah, it's
You get one for your character and one for you.
You get one for your character.
Mm-hmm.
I really want. We gotta get in there. Next raid. What do you know about the Vault of Glass, Andy? Ask me anything. I've been reading up on the lore.
Eads, I couldn't even ask a question. I can't remember fuck all from that thing.
Great. All right.
It's where the Vex came from, right?
Kind of. It's
Like maybe at the time before they got more into the ins and outs of the lore, I think the general consensus in Destiny 1 was the Vault of Glass is where the Vex come from.
It's the way I heard it described was if time is like a river, the Vault of Glass is like the dam across the river, and it's where the Vex can pick out individual things they don't think should be in various timelines. And when you...
This is like the time cop place that Loki's going to.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of those trailers, so I'll take your word for that.
Okay.
When you die in the vault, you cease to exist, is kind of the conceit. If you fail in the Vault of Glass, not only do you die, you never existed because you're removed from time.
Across all timelines.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's kind of a weird thought.
And there's a whole thing where, like, a Guardian went in and drank the Vex milk and turned into a Vex, and that's the reason some of the raid mechanics... You have to have that fucking shield. You guys remember the shield?
No, I remember the thing that makes it so that the void doesn't like collapse on you. Like your screen is blacking out, and you need to get the light thing to make so you have your vision, and then you'll slowly start being able to not see again. I remember that was a big mechanic. I remember the oracles were a big mechanic, which were just little orbs you had to shoot.
It's like the little square thingies.
Maybe was the shield maybe the thing that distributed the go away darkness buff?
I remember you had to stand. I think whoever's holding it had to like maybe hold left trigger and like plant it, and everyone had to like, we gotta stand behind it or something.
Yeah, and that might have also been how you were getting the buff from. I can guarantee you that at the last time I did the Vault of Glass, they were not letting me anywhere near that shield. So
I have done this raid, and I've done it with you guys because I distinctly remember this fucking shield thing. Is this the Doggo raid? This is not the Doggo raid, right? That's 2.
No, that's Destiny 2.
Yeah,
that's Callous.
This is 2014.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think I beat the final boss because I never got the like thing on my like timeline stuff you've done.
Yeah, you didn't beat it with us. I know that.
Yeah, so. But I think I was at least in there with you guys because the more I talk about this fucking shield thing, I can like see it in my head. It's a diamond. It's like got hard corners. It's like a diamond of light.
I can remember parts of it. Like I can remember you had to go like through one of the gates to like one of the 2 different planets that were in some other time stream and get the thing and bring it back. But the darkness was constantly closing in on you, so people had to be buffing you so you could see where you were going. Otherwise, you just fucking run off the edge.
Mm-hmm. You have to go to the past timeline and get something and the future timeline, which should create a paradox. But I guess not.
The call-outs for those were red and green. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, that's past me.
Yeah.
Wow. Takes you back.
Yeah.
Destiny, it has changed a lot, but in a lot of ways is still that same game from all them years ago. 2013.
Oh, the fucking... The whatever they're called, the flying guys, the stealth sequence in the cave.
Yeah, that's the only part I remember.
That was a nightmare.
Is that part dark? Is it like pitch black in that stealth part?
Not pitch black, but it's dark.
Yeah,
it's kind of all coming back to me.
There's a path you have to take, and I remember we had somebody that knew the whole path, but like there's a specific.
I guess it's getting mixed up because there was totally a stealth part in Leviathan as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, Leviathan I remember like it was yesterday. The Vault of Glass I only remember like little bits and pieces of it.
Well, we played Leviathan like a few times, whereas Vault, you and I hunkered down. Yeah, we hunkered down and we got that done. Like I think we did. We did it.
It took a long time. It was the longest I spent doing a raid.
Yeah,
I remember getting into it. I remember everyone being like, "It's hard to even get into because you got to stand on the 3 things or whatever and unlock the gate."
That's fucked.
Kyle and I, one meet who's not on this episode, have been playing, and Kevin actually played last night, a game called Hell Let Loose over on Steam, currently in early access. It's a first-person shooter, kind of in the vein of a Battlefield. Sort of falls somewhere between something sort of simulation-y, like Arma, and something a little more arcadey like Battlefield, where, for example, you have icons above all your teammates, little blue icons. So he's like, I can see my teammates through the trees or whatever. But there are no hit markers. So when you're shooting at somebody, it is fucking impossible to tell if they are dead or hit or if they just went prone or what. And it is this kind of information light version of Battlefield where, like kind of the old Battlefields, you have someone who's a commander, and there are kind of limited tools, like a plane can sort of fly over and spot people and put people on the minimap. But other than that, it is a commander who talks to squad leaders, and they kind of share a VIP, a leader chat, and then the leaders can talk to their, I think six squaddies below them, or I think 6 total in the squad, so 5 below them. And it's a lot of relaying information of like, I see an enemy squad spawned over at whatever coordinates on the map. Whoever's back in base, I need you to shoot the artillery at this spot. And whoever's back at base, it takes a few minutes to move the big artillery gun, turn it over, and then they shoot, and they have to call it to someone because they can't see. Like the target is miles in the distance. They have to be like, okay, how do I need to, aim to the south or the north? Or it is this, it's World War II, I guess I should have led with. It is this kind of simulation World War II first-person shooter where, like, when you reload, for example, you throw the mag away. It's not I have...
I'm out.
Yeah, it's not I have, like, 30 bullets and I shoot one and away we go. And it's slow-paced.
They've simmed too far.
It's it's slow-paced because of that. You're doing a lot of, like, hunkering down in a position, and I like to play the machine gunner, and I do a lot of... I'm just spraying in the general direction of the enemy, and hopefully somebody is over there and getting suppressed, and it's letting my team push up a little bit. And you are kind of...
Is it like super quick time to death too?
Yeah,
imagine?
really fast. It's like the first like 5 hours of the game, you kind of just don't get any kills. You never see anybody. It's fucking impossible because you're playing it like Battlefield mostly, running around, and Kyle has this problem where he just doesn't play the tank classes with me anymore. It doesn't go in vehicles because he's just too impatient. Like in vehicles, you kind of got to find a good spot, sit up, make sure there's other tanks, maybe you got to reposition and the whole thing. Whereas Kyle just likes to get in there and get kills. Kyle's in it for the blood. And it's one of those games like Battlefield, even more so than Battlefield, where it's not about the kills. It's sometimes, often, in fact, it's just about being in the right place. I'm just in this place shooting, which is applying pressure, which is keeping these other guys here so that our 50 other teammates can go and do something on the other side of the map. 100 player count, which is big, big maps. Like sometimes you're running. It kind of has that PUBG feel sometimes where it's like I ran for 5 minutes and then just got sniped and I don't know where from, and now I have to go respawn and run all the way fucking back out here. But that's very much part of the strategy of the game where each team only has its initial spawn, and squad leaders have to, as you're pushing up, you're advancing the front by creating spawns so that your runtime is way shorter and you can have more people on the front, and that naturally makes you kind of push the battle line towards their side.
And then is it like tickets or something? How do you win?
It's control the point. It get like tug of war style all the way to one side. But it usually, I think the points give resources. I'm a little foggy on how the commander stuff works still, but I think the points give resources, which are used to buy like tanks and airstrikes and power-ups kind of in that Battlefield thing. Andy, do you have a question? You look like you something on your mind.
I had a comment just on how you play that game, and judging by how you play Battlefield.
Well, here we go again.
Here we go.
Yeah, Eads and I are gonna fight more again.
Here we go.
But it sounds like I like the idea of it kind of being a slower pace and kind of like a pick a spot and less of a run and gun. Because even when we play Battlefield, you like to do that where you just be like, oh, we're gonna set up a spot on the tank here and sit here, and then it got to the point where I was like, okay, we got to just like go because I don't want this is boring. I don't want to do this.
There's a lot of like you seem to have this place under control. Hey, it's okay. We're gonna duck out of here.
Yeah, but whereas this game, it seems like it encourages that type of play, which I think is really cool. Like because even like looking at screenshots right now, like it looks like a Battlefield-ass game.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that they've found a way to still change up that way that the game's played, I think is really neat. I like that idea. Like it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
It feels good, and it reminds me a lot of playing paintball, actually. It feels like paintball. These long periods of just waiting in the brush, and then like somebody's walking by, like 3 or 4 minutes of incredible excitement, and then 5 more minutes of just crawling through the brush. And it really has this kind of, like I imagine real war, you wouldn't be about just racking up headshots on infantry or whatever, right? It'd be, okay, give me, well, I mean, I would be, but you wouldn't be. It'd be more just like, I need suppressing fire at the general direction of this church. Shoot at the windows so that their sniper can't look out. No problem. My guys are going to push up, and it's very, very team and communication oriented. When it's popping off, it's super fun. But also you'll get into those games where just nobody's talking and everybody's just kind of running around shooting, and it's not, I don't think it's great when it's played like, you kind of got to play to the spirit of it a little bit. Otherwise, you just die. You just lose a lot. You're just out in open fields getting shot. There's no like bullet indicators to tell where you're getting shot from. It's hell.
Yeah,
Like
it encourages smarter playing. It's not just like, like, don't get me wrong, I still love like the mindlessness of Call of Duty of just jumping in and just shooting guys. But it sounds like a nice change of pace from that and gives you an option for something a little more in depth.
Yeah, and there are no scopes. Other than the sniper, nobody that I've seen has a scope. So it's a lot of, like, you're looking for a pixel to move in the distance and being like, was that a tree? I don't know. Just unleash hell towards it. Hell let loose. And you should come play with us. Also,
how much is it?
I think it's like $20 or something.
That's not bad.
It'll have a real hump that I know you will hate, where you're just gonna, more than Battlefield, you're just gonna get fucking murdered for the first like 4 hours until you sort of figure out the weird pacing of it. Player at home, be warned. I actually played this game with Max and I don't remember who, Cream or someone, or Burke or whoever, and refunded it. Hated it because the first 2 hours, like, I didn't even get any kills, I didn't even see anybody. Fuck this. And then Kyle tricked me into buying it. Because I was like, is this that game that I bought and didn't like? I remember I played on stream with Max. He's like, no, that's not this game. It was this game. And actually had a really good time with it. Played like 20 hours so far, so. It's cool. Hell let loose.
Nice.
What have you been playing, Andrew? Nothing other than Destiny and Apex. All right.
Yep. Sorry.
Nothing to be sorry for. Nothing to be sorry for. Playing the game of life.
Those are 2 fantastic games.
Yeah.
Brando, on the other hand.
Was that on this podcast last week where, yeah, because I was just listening to it, I think, where I don't even remember what we were talking about, but as soon as we don't like something, as soon as something is like a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10, it's just, what have you been playing? What have you been up to?
I have 2 little bits of news.
Mm-hmm.
I beat Mass Effect 1.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Felt just as good this time as it did the prior 22 times.
We will never have a villain as good as Saren again.
Saren is a very good villain. He's the best villain in the Mass Effect trilogy.
Fred Tassio really knocked it out of the park.
They have really given that game a really nice coat of paint on the macro level, like the skyboxes and the lighting and everything look absolutely incredible. On like kind of more of a technical, like a movement level, and on a like going from character to character, cutscene to cutscene, it has all the exact same like weird like, oh, he's not looking at me, and you know what? He wasn't looking at me in the regular edition when I asked this either.
It does that thing where it shows the shot of just like an empty corner. You're like, somebody was probably supposed to be there, but oh well, cut back.
There's a person who, and I remember this because it happened every single time I played through Mass Effect 1, and it made me laugh out loud because it's still there in the remaster, is I went and talked to a person on Pharos who's kind of like crouched down working on something. And when you talk to them, they are standing up. It cuts from them crouched down when you approach them to them standing up, and then quickly shoots them back down and then has them get up. And I'm like, what is that? How has this not been fixed? How
I know
is this
exactly
not one of
what
the
you're
things
talking about.
Yeah. So
it's the little things, you know?
It's the little things. And I guess maybe it's, I mean, on one hand, I could be like, don't put a remaster out unless you can fix all the little things. And then on the other hand, it's like, well, I'm happy to be playing Mass Effect again. Maybe if they were ever going to fix all the little things, they would have just said, we're not going to remaster Mass Effect. So,
yeah, I wonder if it, they like lost the source code for, I always
Pinnacle
forget
Station?
which one, Pinnacle Station. I wonder if it's a thing where like, nobody mess with this thing. Nobody ever touched this again. We only have this one copy apparently of the Mass Effect source code. No, Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck with it. It's built on like matchsticks.
It's amazing this thing worked 10 years ago.
Yeah, but it's like all the good parts of Mass Effect are also still there. All the music cues are fucking great, and the some of the speeches, the hold the line speech, all those little moments where I'm like, I'm just happy to be back.
Hold the line.
None of this really had to be new. It was just an excuse to play through it again.
Yeah, is that Kirahi?
So that's Kirahi.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, he's. I got him out. I think for the first time in my history of playing Mass Effect, I got Kirahi out of there because there's like a whole like series of little side things you can do while you're storming the factory to like make it easier on his team. And I think I've never before done enough of them along the way to get him out of there. He kind of just goes down as part of the mission.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever gotten him out or if... I think either way, you'll get him be like reminiscing about the hold the line speech, or it's another Solarian being like, remember old Kirahi and his hold the line speech.
I think it's Morden. Morden's like, I
you're
served
right.
under Kirahi. Yeah.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Those games are great. I finished it. I, despite doing everything in that game, did not max out my level.
Oh wow! Are you on the new 1 to 30?
I'm doing the 1 to 30, and I finished at 29. But it, as part of the carryover process, 29 is enough to get the maximum carryover bonus. So,
because instead of the Galactic Readiness in 3, because they don't have a mobile game or a multiplayer. It's just completion, right?
Yeah, I think it's completion percentage and how many like branches you kind of explored, all of conversation branches you explored your way all the way to the end of. Because some of those galactic readiness people at the end, it's literally just a conversation you had.
Yeah.
Where it's like, did you convince this person on the street to send you a couple ships or so. I've done the prologue for Mass Effect 2, which is one of my favorite video games of all time. So.
Mass Effect 2 might be one of the best video games of all time. I mean, it probably is one of the best video games of all time. It's so fucking good. Oh, it's hard to overstate how good it is.
I also think maybe because of the changes they made, but I used to find Mass Effect 1 very much on the hard end of that trilogy. And maybe just because of some of the changes they made in the shooting, and they kind of brought it a little bit closer to Mass Effect 2, it seemed really fucking easy. And I was playing on Veteran, which means there's still 2 difficulties above it. But I remember playing that game on Veteran before and being like, this game's way harder than the other 2 games on Veteran.
You've played is it Insanity? Is that the highest one?
I have beat them all on Insanity.
Everything's cheddar after that.
Yeah.
I remember I did 1 on Insanity, and then 2 I broke on the prison level where you get Jack out, I think.
Yeah.
With those fucking turrets. That guy's like in the blue energy bubble, and you got to take out all those pylons to open it up. Oh, that level sucks. Love Mass Effect. Ask me to go listen to our we only did a Mass Effect 3 spoiler cast, right?
I don't even know if we did that. You guys did that. I did not do that.
That was before you were on the show.
Yeah.
We should do a Mass Effect 1 and 2 and 3 spoiler cast. Let's see.
Dan, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was the Dan one. The one piece of content that I ever did with Dan. Yeah. We should totally think about maybe doing a Mass Effect spoiler cast once everyone's played through the Mass Effects recently.
Everyone is going to.
It's probably
you tap me, I'll be there.
I mean, depends on the day of the week, but it is. I will. Depends on the day of the week. It's one of my favorite video game series. It's not my favorite. It's not my. I can't put it over the top, but like
in a world where Metal Gear exists.
But sometimes Metal Gear's really bad, and Mass Effect is consistently at Mass Effect's worst. It's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So the thing with Mass Effect is like I did some. Like, I did a completionist run on Mass Effect 1. Mm-hmm. It took me 35 hours to beat that game, which normally it takes me like 25, maybe. But it, like, where that game really gets bad is even though they've kind of redesigned the Mako controls, is just when as part of getting all the assignments done in your logbook, you are going to spend so much time, like, bring a podcast amount of time fucking just driving up mountains, and
It's not a perfect game, you know. It's not
no, but
without
the like
its issues.
the open world part that they tried to do, the padding out, is very patty.
The planet scanning fucking didn't
No, the
they
planet
change
scanning
that?
is better. The planet scanning is better than driving around
Oh
a
yes,
barren
definitely.
wasteland.
Still
in a
bad
Mako.
though.
Yes, and they didn't quite get it until 3.
What? Yeah, in 3 they had a whole new way to pad it with what if we had these loot boxes and this multiplayer, but it turned out they actually made a really good multiplayer that people apparently
Yeah, but
liked.
that's a different kind of padding. That is not padding the length of the game. That is trying to get money from us.
Yeah. Well, yes, you're right. It
Right.
artificially pads the game, but the solution is not a time thing. It is just they spend some money on. What was the mobile game like?
I played a little bit of it. It was dumb. I specifically remember playing that in the Jock Lounge in college with you guys.
Mass Effect, is that Infiltrator?
Mm-hmm.
That's
You're
the
Jacob, I believe.
Oh yeah. Maybe this is not. Third-person shooter developed by Iron Monkey Studios and the Mass Effect universe. Was released in 2012. No, this can't be that one. Oh no, because that would make sense. Came out right before Mass Effect 3. Okay. Weird. What a weird time. Anything else? I don't even know who we're talking to.
Me.
Mr. Brando.
Also capped It Takes Two.
Oh, you guys finished?
With my former roommate, Warren Barris. Our relationship has never been stronger.
The apparently funniest game in the world.
It's fucking pretty funny.
I was in a party. Andy and I were in a party chat with you guys, and it was just Warren and Brando just like side splitting, like slapping their knees, gasping for breath. Like
it was this like weird chat where it was me and Warren like barely being able to breathe. We were giggling so hard sometimes, and then Matt and Andy cutting in with like subtle jabs about their fucking Crucible efforts.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of bows. And then Brando would be like, "He's saying you suck." Yeah. Fucking guy.
And Matt would bring up the
not
shotgun
really,
thing,
but
and Andy's like, "You seem to be having more trouble with the shotguns than I am." And Warren's like, "That he's saying you suck."
Yeah,
Matt and I really get along well playing games. That's why It Takes Two sounds like the perfect game for us to have to cooperate on and play together.
Hey, It Takes Two is about overcoming the toxicity in your relationship and trying to work past it using traits that make you guys special, which I've yet to see from either of you.
Yeah,
but,
fair enough.
We have traits that make us special. They just don't meld together well.
Yeah, mine are just below the belt, so they don't show here on the podcast.
Okay.
I'm talking about my club foot, Andrew. Thank you for... Yeah, we should play... I'm looking at it right now, this game called... I think it's Morkred is probably how you say it. It's on Game Pass. It's a co-op game. I think it's a single player. I thought it had to be co-op. But it's two people who have to like roll this orb of light. This like it's the only light source, I guess. And you have to like you work together to roll it through this. Looks like a dark dungeon. You're kind of solving puzzles with it together. Looks neat.
I think Andy would be way less into that.
I mean, it is not an exclusive. Listen, we don't have to play one or the other. I'm just saying at some point, some of us should try this game.
That Andy does not very much like puzzle games.
Oh, it's one of them. Well, I mean, I don't know how puzzling this is, to be fair. I'm just sort of... it's described as a physics-based co-op puzzle game.
Is the light ball that you're rolling around the Traveler?
I can neither confirm... It says the orb protects, so...
so it's a prequel.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but that would lead me to believe...
So we're playing as the Elixni.
Oh man, it's fighting the darkness. Don't you want to know why the Traveler left the Elixni? Don't you want to know why they became the Fallen?
See,
well, the answers wait in Morkred.
But no, I would be more likely to play a puzzle game with someone. I actually don't mind that as much. Like Brando and I, when we went to Texas, we played a lot of Box Boy and Box Girl, which was a lot of fun. A puzzle game, but I'm playing with someone else, so I can sit there and be stupid, and he can think about everything, and I can be like, "Oh yeah," and then just do it, and then that's entertaining for me. But I don't like puzzle games on my own, though.
And It Takes Two is a much more puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
where it's not like straight puzzles where it's like, okay, this is puzzle 1, this is puzzle 2. It's more like, oh, I see, you got to go around and use your power to get the rope down to me so I can use my power to get the board over to you, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just watching the trailer. My gut instinct from More Cred is it seems less like kind of look at and solve this puzzle and more like, the two of you have to roll this ball on this slope. How are you going to work together to make sure the ball doesn't roll off the edge or whatever? Or like, I see one where it's very windy and one person has to roll the ball, another person has to move the wind blocker. It seems very physics-based.
It sounds like a Mario Party game.
Yeah. You like
Fair.
those.
Yes. For the 30 seconds it takes to play the mini game.
I don't know if we've talked about this, but It Takes Two also has it's a whole big. First of all, it's fucking long. It's long as all holy sin. We couldn't believe it. Like, we were laughing today as we wrapped it up about literally, I think, 8 hours of gameplay ago where we thought we were at the end.
How long did it end up taking you guys?
We just played it in so many little chunks that it's tough to say. I would say over 10.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Because A Way Out was like 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly. This game's way fucking better than A Way Out. It is probably my second favorite video game, maybe my favorite that I've played this year. It's this game and Resident Evil. So,
wow.
I don't know what else has come out this year.
No, it's been a slow year.
Can't dispute that.
No.
Anything else? Pardon me, Mr. Brando. We're sorry to the folks at home. We're a little burpy because we're having some birthday beers. It's my birthday tomorrow. Oh, also, it's the last podcast. We're recording this. By the time you hear this, I'll be 30. So this is it. This is
it.
The last words from a 29-year-old Matt Eads. I just want to, I want to say thanks to my mom, my family. We made it. We made it.
I'm excited to see how much more knowledgeable and wise you are next podcast compared to this one.
Yes, and achy, and I got a good head start on the pains and the aches.
Yeah, you're not even gonna be have enough breaths to make fun of me for my bow use in Destiny. You're gonna be too busy bitching about your body breaking down.
Like after just like 2 trips up and down the stairs, just walking like old furniture I'm not taking, throwing up to the bin, old dressers and things. Just what a shell of a human I am. Like, holy shit. I made it up the stairs the first time and had to do like a, this is 30, huh? Really, it's sitting in this chair for the last year straight almost.
Let me tell you, I've done about 14, 15 months at 30s. Not a fucking thing different.
No?
Well, the world has been significantly worse since
Yeah,
I turned 30.
No! Yeah, you're right.
Is the flip that we need.
You hit 30 and the world just fucking went off a cliff.
Yep.
So
my birthday weekend was the first weekend of lockdown, I think.
Oh shit!
Yeah, March 23rd.
Because we were supposed to go to a concert and stuff that weekend, and you had it off, and
oh wow, that sucks.
All went to shit.
And then it was like you didn't really care at the time because what was happening felt so much bigger than your birthday. You're like, oh my god, this is like a 1 in a century fucking health crisis. And now once you've gone through 2 birthdays and 2 months, you're kind of like, are we gonna open yet? I want to go have fun.
Yeah, I want to go. Went and gassed up today. Was wearing shorts and felt the breeze on my legs, which was shocking. Haven't felt that in a long time. You play anything else, Brando?
No.
All right.
Eads and I decided you have to say no like Zavala from now on. You got to be like, no.
No.
I did that.
You got to really
today,
own the. Oh.
Yeah, I've just started adding it to my vocabulary of just things I say just in my general day to day now. It just is leaked into that.
What do you think? Should we have mandatory vaccination passports? Yes or no? Call the man at. I better not say. What happened if international listeners phoned into the podcast, into the radio station? That'd probably be fine.
Like like the one I'm working at?
Yeah, I was gonna just say the number, but I also don't think it would even work.
Oh no,
it's just a 6-digit.
I've had people at TikToks before be like, "Oh, well, how can I call you?" I'm like, "Here," and I'm like, "I don't know," and I don't really want to go through the effort to figuring it out.
Hmm.
Because I also don't know who you are, where you're from, and
Yeah.
I might not be able to understand you. And yeah,
You can't say that, Andy.
why can't I say that?
All right, let's cut to a break. I'm gonna have to do some editing on this one. See you here on the other side of this musical break. I don't
have to go anywhere.
Make sure to tag this one for racism.
Yeah, jeez. Jesus, Andrew. We're live on the internet, Andrew. I like that he doesn't know if he actually... I like the genuine confusion and concern.
Bring us back in.
Let's talk about some news, gentlemen. Top story this week. The world is shit. End of story.
Send help.
Yes, please. Did you guys see that? I mean, the headline I saw was the Pentagon suspects aliens are real. Like, legitimately suspects that.
Yeah.
It turns out that they're releasing that UFO debrief coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Wild times. That's the thing we need. I was thinking about that yesterday. If tomorrow I found out that other life in this universe existed, that would be the thing that would just like Watchmen would rally planet Earth, would rally the humans together.
I think even like I always was certain
It must
in my own
right?
little way.
It's such a big universe.
Right. But I think the like knowing that they're close enough to us
And
for us to suspect them.
and
I'm
if
like fuck.
Well, if there's like, yep, they exist, and in fact have visited us, and some of these UFO sightings have been alien craft here or something, like the implication that almost can't come out, because then there is the biggest conspiracy in human history would have been that we were alone in the universe. We have so many like scientific things and everything disputing all these, and all the money and time. And they're like, well, we're
So
the great filter.
When did we to the timeline? When do we think that the government knew?
Oh, I we're assuming that yes, aliens exist, and like Men in Black is real, basically.
No, but I mean, like they're saying now, hey, we think aliens might be real.
Yeah.
When do we think that they knew and just weren't telling us versus them telling us?
Probably the 40s in New Mexico is what I would guess. Like that,
Yeah.
The Area 51 stuff, because even the Pentagon is like, Area 51, like it sure is some secret stuff. We're not gonna say it's aliens, but we're not gonna not say it's aliens. Yeah, probably the 40s. Probably I would guess. I mean, I don't really think it's aliens. I think it is like probably very advanced aircraft built by super secret governments somewhere or something. Like I think
somewhere else on Earth.
Yes, I think humans are getting up to some fucking high tech nefarious shit, and probably haven't for a long time. Like I don't have to go very far to believe like the grand conspiracy, the lizard people run the Earth type shit. If it just all came off tomorrow, like yes, this cabal of individuals does run everything, it turns out. And maybe they do live. Again, I'm sounding crazy, but I'm just, I entertain the possibility.
It's so weird that somehow in my broken brain that sounds more unbelievable than legitimately species from another planet who are advancing at a different timeline on a different rate of time than us, and have also maybe existed from a far different point than us, may have finally developed the technology to find us.
Think of how crazy the conspiracy would be. Think of how many UFO sightings that have been so adamantly debunked by governments, and like think of everything that would have had to happen in opposition to yes, these things are real and are visiting our planet, and real physical evidence of them exists, and here it is. Like I'm not saying it doesn't exist. That's the whole Illuminati probably run the world, run everything. There's probably a select group of people who just run everything. That's probably totally true.
I don't think I understand what your point is. You're saying that
I am ready to believe either way. I'm ready to believe that either way, it is the biggest conspiracy in human history. If aliens have existed and we have known about it and somehow covered it up, that is the biggest conspiracy in human history. If aliens don't exist, but the world is instead run by some shadowy cabal that is inventing these super future tech weapons that nobody else has access to, I would also be totally prepared to believe.
Right.
I'm ready to believe. I don't want to believe, but I'm ready.
I want to believe the aliens have found us.
Yeah, so do I. Well, do I? Like,
worst case scenario.
What if we found aliens? That's what I always think of.
Worst case scenario, they blow the shit out of us.
Yeah.
I think that's
wait, did you say
not
best
that
case
bad.
scenario?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Just end it now.
and then it only goes up from there.
That's right.
Maybe they show up and they're like, "Hey, you guys like beer?"
Do we? What if we found aliens, though? What if it went the other way around and we found another species? We didn't know life existed. We found this other species. They're more primitive than us. Also, they got oil. They got oil. Like, I have zero faith in humanity to approach that situation responsibly.
The proud nation of Alberta will.
I would be
Bird
very
strong.
much so if I had to pick whether or not we approach it from like it would start off like, how can I explain my thought process on this? It would start off with like, when you first meet somebody and you're kind of feeling them out. Like if we were to discover somebody, that's how it would start off, with our curiosity to be like, oh, there's just new people. Let's see what they're about and get to know them. And oh, they're kind of nice. And oh, their planet has a bunch of resources like ours. And then after a while, once we kind of get to know them and like a relationship starts to develop, oh, absolutely, the scheming will begin. Like it will not take long before people are like, how can we get this stuff for ourselves? How can we fucking double
I have
cross these
such a
buggers?
cynical take on this that I don't even know if I should say.
Aliens will be trying to contact us, and Andy will be like, "I don't know if I'll understand you."
I
Well, they're
think
speaking another language.
don't call the station. Fuck's, I can never understand them.
Is this an alien?
I have zero faith in humanity's ability to like approach that peacefully. Andy, the fact that someone's skin color is different than someone else's skin color is enough to spawn these millennia-long conflicts. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
well, what if this completely different race that maybe it is like maybe life. It won't be life as we know it, right? It'll be something we can't interact with. It'll be being comprised of radio waves or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's why it's going to start off as curiosity, and then just our old nature will just eventually take over, and that's exactly the problems we have here, and all the issues with different varieties of people here is going to happen with if it's aliens from somewhere else.
I firmly believe that before you can get to the level where I'm comfortable being like, we could cooperate with people from other planets, we would have to achieve some sort of like planetary cooperation ourselves.
Yeah. We gotta have it's Star Trek.
There's no way we're willing to go be like, well, I don't trust the Russians, but the guys that I can't see past the horizon.
I'll work with the benevolent Venusians, but not
but not the Russians.
Somalis or what? Yeah, anybody.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's what I think we need. Alien life exists. It's been here all along. Here's this renewable energy source. The planet is saved. Speaking, I don't even remember how we got here. Something I was like, this planet sucks. Everything's shitty. Something bad was what I was going from. Over to Ubisoft. Something else bad. Report coming out this week, which is something that I've been saying for goddamn months, if not, I think it's a year, because I think this happened last summer. I think their Ubisoft play was like June, so almost a year. I've been saying this for years. For a year. Hold Ubisoft accountable. There's a hashtag, I guess, on Twitter. Great work. A year later, y'all started a hashtag. Report came out from, I don't have the French publication pulled, but report came out from a French publication here that allegedly nothing has changed inside Ubisoft. Some reports from staff currently employed by Ubisoft. I've just pulled some Cole's notes here. 20,000 Ubisoft employees have been given a half day of training. Remember, if you're coming into the story, last year leading into this year, Ubisoft had just a host of sexual assault allegations. Every single studio, 99, correct me if I'm wrong, please. Every single studio had at least some allegations. The heads of a lot of studios did not leave the company, but were given work elsewhere for some fucking reason. And Yves Guillemot, the CEO of Ubisoft, got out on their Ubisoft, Let's Play or whatever, their E3 conference, basically. And very tearfully was like, oh, people have let me down, blah, 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 blah. We're going to put this in the video, but we don't have time in the live stream that we are creating and producing, unfortunately, to mention the litany of sexual assault allegations. But don't worry, we're going to edit it in after. And then they never edited it
when no
in
one's
after.
watching.
Yeah.
They never put it in after. And it's just a bunch of horseshit. And the report comes out, nothing has changed because of course it hasn't. It's not Yanis Manis. That can't be right. I think it's Yanis Manit. The CEO, he would have been.
What did this Sesame Street character do?
He
Looks like someone from Star Wars.
Yeah, Yanis Manis. He was head of Ubisoft Montreal. Stepped down due to abuse allegations, and Eve appointed his literal cousin, Christophe Derenay, to take over. And again, I don't have the exact studios, but most of the heads of Ubisoft Studios are, if not Eve's family, then very good friends of his from years past. And there is a long history. Go look at Beyond Good and Evil 2. There's a very long history of Eve putting his shithead friends in position of power and then covering for them when they inevitably sexually assault somebody. The response here from Ubisoft, which is fucking bullshit. They say, over a period of several months, Ubisoft has implemented major changes across its organization, internal processes, and procedures in order to guarantee a safe, inclusive, and respectful working environment for all team members. End of statement.
Is that prior or in response to the nothing has changed?
This is in response to nothing has changed.
Gotcha.
Which is a total fucking boilerplate, like... If this statement is true and you are disputing the fact that you are not responding seriously or taking seriously these sexual assault allegations, you list the fucking processes. When someone's like, well, which processes are those, Ubisoft? Well, 20,000 employees were given a half-day training. That's it. That's all. What else? No, if there is anything, it is not being reported on. It is so well hidden.
I got more training on how to wash cars in the Tim Hortons drive-thru during camp day.
Better than having fucking your game lead touch your ass or whatever. Unreal, man. Jason Schreier also wrote this exact story a year ago. June it'll be, or so 10 months ago, where nothing had changed after the fact. And... here we are again, where nothing has changed. I still put to you to, talk about it if it is. Again, everyone has their hill they die on, right? There are very serious issues in the world going on right now, aside from video games, obviously. But maybe don't buy Ubisoft stuff. I don't know. That's where I am right now. I don't think Assassin's Creed is good enough personally to want to...
They make it very easy to not buy Ubisoft stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They do,
True.
But yeah. I mean, even if these games were good, and that's a
We don't
really
even play
shitty
Uno
thing to
anymore.
say. Even if I liked these games, I should say, maybe is a better way to put it. I like to think I would still have the what is it? Scruples, the
Moral fortitude.
Yeah, to draw a line in the sand. It's gross. It's disgusting, and the fact that nothing changes and nobody cares because people like Assassin's Creed, and wow, they're making that new Division game. It's free to play. Isn't that great? Like, I don't know. There is a, I'm sure this exists in every fandom, but there's a percentage of video game fans who more than will just put their head in the sand, like have to be validated in their decision. So not only can they not just like
vocally argue.
Yeah, not only am I just going to cover my ears and like I'm just going to play the Ubisoft games. I don't care. It's like a step beyond of like the words Gamergate come out and it's like, okay, here we go. So, look deep within yourself and decide should you or should you not purchase Ubisoft stuff. Also, look into the audio issue with Assassin's Creed on Xbox. It is something else that managed to happen.
And also, like, because there's just so many game companies that are like this.
It's true. Yeah,
Ubisoft is today's story, but
yeah, Ubisoft is one of the biggest. I guess that there hasn't been any action on. It feels like where, like Chris Avalo, we gaming had a big Me Too movement, and a lot of people got kind of ousted and left the industry and projects very loudly in public. They're like, we don't have that person's work involved. We haven't for a long time. Fuck them. but nothing's happened at Ubisoft. The only things that have happened at Ubisoft, like Michel Ancel, I think is his name, the designer of Beyond Good and Evil 2, was under investigation for abuse, and Eve publicly said he will not be allowed to retire while these investigations are ongoing. And then he just quietly retired while these investigations were ongoing. He didn't retire. He went to save the trees or whatever his... No, it was way stupider. What I need to know. It was like save the llamas or something fucking stupid.
Let's not besmirch llamas.
It will... Hang on, I will make sure I'm not...
Like if the llamas are in trouble, like even if this guy is a good guy, but let's not trash the cause.
He's not a good guy is the problem, Andrew. He's an abuser
I know,
of
but
women.
but the llamas don't need to get dragged into this.
I'm trying to see what Michel Ancel is going to do here. Stop working on video games. Focus on my second passion, wildlife. Yes, I'm going to go work with animals because they don't file lawsuits against me.
Is that his quote?
For touching them inappropriately.
Is that also what they said, that he's going to go work with wildlife?
He said he's going to go focus on his passion, wildlife.
Okay, well, that's not his...
He's been in the games industry since 95 also. The dude who made Rayman.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
His passion is Rayman.
I got some Overwatch news here.
Fuck yeah.
I pulled this for you guys. So Overwatch 2 will only have 5 players per team, gentlemen.
Good. Less stuns to ruin our matches.
Overwatch 1 has 6 players.
Bad, though, that I have less people to blame my own fucking poor gameplay on.
Right now, it's 2 of each class. I don't know if these are the right names. 2 tanks, 2 defense, 2 attack.
No, it'd be 2. If it's the classes that exist right now, it's tanks, attack, defense, and healing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or support.
Anyways, it's going from 2-2 and 2 to 1-2 and 2.
Which is the one?
Tank. It's going down to 1 tank.
That's what me and Andy were talking about this yesterday, not having the info. And that is what we guessed. It seems that Overwatch has very much become a game that the tanks carry.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the good tanks, then you're probably okay no matter what the rest of your squad looks like. So it seems like maybe taking the tank's collective ability to influence the game out is maybe a smart call.
Yeah, or at least like single-handedly kind of decide the game.
Yeah, I mean, like anything, if you have unbelievable damage and unbelievable healers or support, you can overcome it. But it does seem like we'll get into games and I'll be like, these guys have 2 really good tanks. We're fucked.
Yeah, like it's impossible. And if they have a healer that's even like just like, especially if there's a Mercy or something back there and she just, is like kind of good, like just a Mercy that just gets its basic roles of how to work, like it's impossible. Like you can't fucking move them. Like they're just, their health is never ending.
So I assume this means that really the story could just be Overwatch will have 5 players going forward, because at least
I still truly don't know how this whole
Overwatch 2, Overwatch thing works.
They said Overwatch 1 and 2 will be fully compatible. They will play together. All updates, all characters will come to both. It's just Overwatch 2 will have, I thought, some single player stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to go back and see if they've talked a lot more about this, because they've also, I think since the last time I looked into this stuff, had a very real moment where it seemed like they weren't even making Overwatch 2 anymore, and now have announced something very tangible about Overwatch 2. So I don't know if I believe anything I heard before that original E3 announcement anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This PC Gamer story, as about a month ago, that's a very exact date, about 1 month ago, it says on PC Gamer, says Overwatch 2 is compatible with the original game. Since Overwatch 1 is receiving all of the PvP updates in Overwatch 2, the 2 games will be completely compatible. Overwatch 2 players can party up with Overwatch 1 players like they always have.
Yeah, so when I read it, that's why I understood, is that they're just completely overhauling it. Like the 6-on-6 won't even exist anymore.
All
Overwatch 1 is going to become what the new layout is.
This sounds like
I wonder if it's almost like it becomes a launcher thing where you have Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 game modes available. And then you're like, I'd like to play Overwatch 1.
Play the 6v6
and you'll play in the
mode or whatever.
6v6 pool. And
Would that would be like, would that split up the player base too much
Yes,
though? Like
Yeah.
how
they
would
would
you
be
get,
fine.
Well, yeah, not too much. There are a
Yeah.
billion people playing Overwatch, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I sort of read this like it'll just be 5 players now. It almost
Which
That's how
that
I
would be
read it
fine
too.
for me too. But
it,
yeah,
and I
wouldn't
wonder
care.
if like I don't think you could go in today and just patch Overwatch and take make it 5 players. I think people would just fucking riot. That would be a change way too big for a patch. Like that would be a whole thing. But if you put out this thing called Overwatch 2, you know, suddenly that doesn't maybe feel so
but
jarring.
then aren't they just going to patch 1 anyway?
Yes, you're right. Yes, but I also most people won't think this meta level. Why Overwatch 2? Right? Why?
Well, that's the biggest question.
It may like
I could understand
Why?
building something from the ground up at this point, having.
but this isn't from the ground up. This is like Overwatch 1.5.
But I think
it's called
they might be building 2 from the ground up, like graphically and everything.
They're overhauling some characters too. Like Bastion's getting overhauled, like, and especially if they're going to do 5-on-5, there's going to have to be some drastic character changes in order for that to happen. Because there's
to
just
me,
some
it
that
totally reads like a patch. It's a big patch. It's like it'd be like a 0.5 in the version notes. This would be like 3.5 or whatever, or maybe
It'll be
maybe
like
4.
it'll be like when they came out with Smash Bros for the Switch, and it'll be kind of like that type of an update.
Even
Like,
smaller
sure, it's-
though, because like you can't play Smash Brothers with the Switch with the GameCube. You and I can't fire up those games and play together. They're completely separate engines, completely separate games.
Yeah, I guess.
Like the compatible nature of these two. If you don't buy Overwatch 2, it will, for all intents and purposes, just be a big Overwatch patch.
Yes.
And I think
Why the
people will
2?
notice.
Why the 2? Yeah, I think if you just patched it to that degree, people would be mad. But if you know, in the shakeup that is 2, I think you're okay to change things. And then if people don't like it, then it's way easier to be like, whoa, we'll go back to Overwatch 1. My bad.
Well, and you're selling 2 because you want to sell something.
Yeah.
I think they do.
Honestly,
okay.
that might be all
I
it comes down to.
I think they make more than enough. I wonder if Overwatch is
none
their
of
most...
none of us are so naive as to think a company that makes a lot of money would just be like, we shouldn't make a 2 because we have enough money.
Well, at the same time, though, like, I think they're savvy enough to know that farting a product out just to have a product out is not... If there's no meaningful thing to put in the product,
They aren't
that's
smart enough. They're doing what they're doing. They're doing this.
I think it's going to be like
they
$20.
are selling Overwatch 2. That is a fact.
I think, well, not yet they're not.
Well, no, but I'm not sure what the argument is here. That they're not, like, whether it's that they're not smart enough.
It's not an argument. Could they remove a person from Overwatch 1? If Overwatch 2 didn't exist, could they patch Overwatch 1 and make it 5 players, 5-on-5? I think no.
No, they couldn't do that.
No.
Overwatch 2 would have to exist in order to pull that off.
That's
Yeah,
right.
You're right about that.
Even though it's essentially the same thing. Even though it's the same thing. Right? We're on the same page here?
But
Because
no, we're
Overwatch
not-
2 is coming out, but it's
we-
just a name for kind of a single player expansion.
But
Every
we also
change is coming to Overwatch.
We still don't know what Overwatch 2 is and what all the new stuff is that they're offering. Like, they've said so little about it other than some map changes in the 5-on-5. Like, they're saying there's supposed to be the single player mode. Like, how involved is that? And I can't say I can't see it from your point of view yet because I still don't fully know what that new game is to call them out on it and be like, oh, it's just Overwatch.
It
Why are
says
you
here
calling
that
it 2?
all the PvP updates are coming to from 1 and 2. All the PvP updates are going to be the same. They're going to share
so
PvP
I believe
updates.
they are releasing Overwatch 2 because they want to sell copies of Overwatch 2 with this new expansion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't disagree with that, but I also
Right.
think they want to change Overwatch, and this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, that can be true too. Yeah.
I would love to talk to somebody. It's such a weird product. Now, a product like this is kind of... I'm trying to think of anything like this that has been sold. It's like expansions of old, but expansions were a thing you either had or didn't. It wasn't like, oh, they bought the expansion, but we can still play together, because then why would you buy the expansion? Because
you're getting something with the expansion, right? It's just not the...
Right, but everybody who has
regular
Overwatch
standard
1 has
multiplayer
no
mode.
choice, right? If I'm like, I just want to play my 6-on-6, I like Overwatch 1. That's what I like. I don't want to.
But
There's no such thing.
yes.
There's just
But that-
Overwatch now.
Exactly, but that could happen without an Overwatch 2. I get what you're saying.
I
People
don't.
would-
That's my argument. I don't think it would
Yes.
happen without an Overwatch. I think people would fucking flip.
So you think that they wanted to change the multiplayer, so they developed the single player,
Yeah.
so that they could sell a new version.
Yep. More or less, like,
Yeah.
but boiled down to its most simple point. Yeah, totally. I think they wanted to shake up their game that has been enormously successful for. When did it even come out? Like 2016? Jesus, for a long time now, 5 years.
March 2016.
They
And
also,
I think
but I
it's
also kind of maintain that they have the player base that I don't see why they wouldn't just be like, you can play the 6 versus 6 if you want, or
Yeah.
you can play the 5 versus 5.
I agree. That's what makes it so weird. Is why isn't
like,
Overwatch
put
2
it
just
in-
its own fucking game?
Like you could put 5 and 6 in for a while and then take out 6. And I think that would do the exact effect of Overwatch 2.
It's a weird thing. Very weird.
Yeah.
What else I got here? Quick one about Netflix. They are. We're not really sure what they're doing. They're approaching video game industry executives, apparently with the interest, some interest in video games. Whether that is adding a like catalog of games that you would download or stream from them, like their shows. I'm not really sure, or if it's more like video game original series like Castlevania and what was that British one with the choose your own adventure stuff?
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, yeah. I'd be down for another Bandersnatch-esque thing. I thought that
I
thing
think
was
they made
neat.
one, didn't they?
Did they? Oh yeah, they
I thought
did.
so. I
Did they
thought
make like
I remembered
Bandersnatch
something
2
coming
or
out.
something?
I thought I remember something coming out and people saying it wasn't very good, but
I think I
Maybe that
also
was
remember
bad.
that. No, I think it's that sounds about right. I remember Bandersnatch being kind of like interesting.
me and Warren enjoyed our time with Bandersnatch.
Yeah, so did I. Man, that I'm not making this up, right? It has like a completely unexpected kung fu fight.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think Bandersnatch
It's
is
very
actually
good.
pretty good. I remember now. So that might be interesting. I started watching that latest season of Castlevania. It seems pretty good.
Yeah, and he stomped through it.
Yeah, I
finished it up really
rewatched
quick.
the whole series starting at 1, and have just started the last season here, season 4. Seasons 1 and 2 are so good, man. That end of season 2, we've talked about it here before, where the castle is going all over the place. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh!
I was because I talked to you about that, and I said season 2 is my least favorite, and then I went back and looked at them. I completely forgot that season 1 was like 4
yeah,
episodes.
super
So
short.
season 1 and 2 for me is season 1, and then season 3 is the one that I found a little bit more
Yeah.
boring. But the ending of season 3 I thought was a banger, and then season 4,
Where they
the
just-
latest one, very good. I really enjoyed season 4. It was probably my favorite season, other than the Dracula fight.
Tiny spoiler for season 3. When you say you like the end of that season, there is, I don't know if it's the last episode. It's near the end. There's an episode where there's no sex in the show until suddenly, literally every single character, it's like a montage of like sex, like
Fuck yeah.
crazy. This is like a threesome going on over here, and like it gets real raunchy for like 15 minutes, and then it settles back down, which I always thought was the funniest shit.
I didn't like that because there was one specific sex scene I wanted to see more of, and then they're like jumping to other sex scenes, and I'm like going on this roller coaster of, wow, I'm really liking this, and then, oh no, this is stupid now. I don't like this anymore.
Watching it through the second time, I think Alucard's sex scene is really funny. Like, really, I was just like muttering to myself as I got like, oh, here we're all going to town on the old, like his sex scene is fucking weird and stupid.
Yeah, and then it just takes a turn that
Yeah, I did not like
I
that
didn't
turn.
really. That
Didn't.
I think that was part of like, yeah, that whole storyline in that part of that season I didn't really care for. It like I found it very confusing, and I was like, what? Why? What happened here? Like, why?
They had to have Alucard, so they had to have this like throwaway thing that made no sense.
Yeah, which I like Alucard, but I just think they could have done something a little bit better than what they did. It was very like, I don't care about what is happening with these characters.
Yeah.
Just show me more of what's going on with Trevor and Cypher.
Cypher. I saw her
Cypher,
name
sorry.
written and was shocked that it wasn't Cypher.
It doesn't Trevor call her Cypher, or does he call
No,
her Cypher?
Cypher. Yeah, he just has a British accent.
Okay.
Sypha. Cypher Belnatus.
Yeah. Anyways, their stuff was good. I like that stuff in season 3, but
Yeah.
yeah, season 3 was the weaker one, but definitely season 4. I thought that the whole way through they banged it out really good.
Hell
I
yes.
also didn't give a shit about what's his name, Isaac a lot either. His stuff kind of was like,
Is he the
He's the
enslaved
other-
one or the one who's like in the desert?
he's the one that's in the desert. So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
he was, yeah. Yeah, I didn't really care for his stuff very much, but
I got some news
overall,
on. Sorry, Andy.
sorry, no, I'm good.
Overall, heck of a show. He was going to say, I bet.
Yes.
Some news on the next Tony Hawk game. Apparently, we were small world talking about Bam Margera here. Well, just a few weeks ago. His brother Jesse Margera, who's the drummer for CKY. For CKY, he was asked on a podcast. Someone asked them, this is good journalism, very poignantly, asked them if their music was featured in any of the Tony Hawk games. And Jesse Margera said yes. He said, yeah. And I believe we're doing the new one coming out too. Which, okay, that it doesn't mean there's a new Tony Hawk. That can mean a lot of things. The interviewer went on to say, like, oh, yeah, something. I didn't pull the quote, but the interviewer, like, led him on in a way. It was like, oh, yeah, I bet you were pretty surprised to something about the new one. And Jesse says, yeah, my son just got a PS5, and he got himself the remaster of 1 and 2. Debunking that he was, in fact, referring. Oh, God. No, can you guys hear the Tony Hawk cops?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They're
shit.
coming.
I've said too much. I gotta go.
Someone's gonna come grind the siren on top and destroy it.
Yeah.
So
Go distract Officer Jenkins or whatever his name was.
Yeah, go sketch the cop car. Collect 5 cups of coffee.
The not the remaster, it turns out, which is what the interviewer and myself totally thought he might have been referring to. So it seems like there might be a new Tony Hawk game out there, a next gen Tony Hawk game, Pro Skater specifically.
Worth remembering that the team that did the 1 and 2 got kind of blown up.
They're no longer a team, right?
Folded into other areas of Activision.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that they weren't already done this. It is not to say that someone else didn't do this. But it is weird that you hear that the guys who made 1 and 2 are kind of getting redistributed, but also 3 and 4 coming out soon.
Maybe they've been working on it. Well, this would be Pro Skater, Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 1, Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 2. I don't know how that does it turn into Thug at some point, or is that a separate series?
3. No, you still got to do 3 and 4.
Pro Skater 3, Pro Skater 4.
If you're doing them in chronological order, you can go wherever you want, I guess. Thug
is not 3 though.
Thug is not 3.
Okay,
no.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not intimately familiar.
But I will say, and this is probably an age-related thing, and I'm sure you have similar point of view. I would maybe rather have Thug 1, Thug 2 come out than 3 and 4. Because I feel like I'm getting what I want from that era of Tony Hawk Pro Skater out of 1 and 2, and I will boot that thing up for a long time to come and play those parks.
Yeah.
But if you told me you were remaking Thug, where I get off my skateboard and go acid drop off the roof of the school into a pool, making a cop or a security guard drop his battery in the pool, electrifying the pool and making the school doors open or some shit, I'm in.
I should play that game. Another update here to our Starfield rumor that we had last week.
This is my favorite segment of the show.
Yeah, this is out of Jay Scrizzle's mouth himself, Jason Schreier, the big Jay Sheezy over at Bloomberg. Says teased at E3 2021, released late 2022. We heard the rumor shown at E3, maybe released this winter, which may have at one point been the plan, but with the pandemic and everything now, expect it to be shown this year, which E3 is like 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, and released late 2022.
I don't believe anything I hear about the release date of this game. All dates that I've heard so far, including the farthest away, seem way too soon. So
even from Jeezy Screezy?
Even from Jeezy Screezy.
Wow.
Well, like, because he was the holiday 2022 one.
Yes. Late 2022. He's
late 2022.
Yeah, he's getting here now saying, you'll see it this year. It'll be out end of next year.
It's the most believable one.
Yeah.
But it still seems like maybe I'm losing track of time from the announcement, but it just seems to make one of those games.
Maybe it won't be one of those games.
I guess that's the other way to look at it, because you would also be like, well, where's Elder Scrolls then?
Yeah. Well, so it's a new engine. Elder Scrolls comes after, they said, Starfield and then Elder Scrolls 6. And this is a new engine that they're using for Starfield, which is the same engine they're going to be using for just Elder Scrolls 6. which makes me kind of think maybe this is a smaller scope project to just kind of get their feet
Test the
wet.
waters.
Yeah, in this engine.
You think in terms of just it being in space and not being one
If it is in
landmass,
space,
maybe it's
who
not even
knows?
in space. Maybe the Starfield is the friends we made along the way, and not, in fact, a field of stars. If it is in space, it feels like just by its very nature of not being one large landmass, maybe changes development quite a bit. Like maybe making these smaller, and I would assume if they're trying to do something on the scope of Elder Scrolls, which they might not be, you'd have to make a lot of planets.
Yeah, maybe it's the No Man's Sky thing of like, we figured out procedural generation in a way that planets are cool now.
Yeah, or maybe it's like there's 20 planets and each one is almost as big as a Skyrim map.
God, we worked 800-hour weeks. Race cars. Man, I cannot wait to be in a studio again and not in the middle of this intersection, apparently.
They're all bad. Everywhere you live's bad.
Yeah.
Race cars run the town.
My final story, this is a small one. Xbox and Bethesda, they're going to share an E3 presser this year, which makes good sense because one is now owned by the other. Just the real, like, Xbox and Bethesda linking arms and you know, dancing the can at Sony. Last week, we had the rumor that Starfield was going to be Xbox and PC exclusive. Windows exclusive. That's what it was. What that is going to... I wonder if we would hear that this year. Probably. When they show it, you'd think if it wasn't exclusive. No, Starfield. If Starfield was an exclusive.
Didn't we didn't already hear that?
I think it was rumored. Was that confirmed?
I thought it was confirmed.
Let me just verify here. The weeks just blend together so much.
Mm-hmm.
Latest reporting. I see reportedly. Yeah, all I see here is reportedly. I don't know if that's hard confirmed. If I did say confirmed last week, I might have.
If it's Jason Schreier reportedly, that's very different than reportedly Robert Downey Jr. will be back as Iron Man.
You know what? I'm maybe not going to click on IGN after the fuckery this week. Tech Radar. I see reportedly. I don't see confirmed here. The IGN stuff this week. Also, you can go look into that on your own. They posted a statement in support of Palestine. Very like it was not an inflammatory statement by any means. It was just like, hey, here are some charities. People are suffering. These are good places to help. Posted it, and it was then pulled by management, which for a website that bills themselves as quote-unquote journalists is the most fucked thing you can possibly imagine. That is the literal antithesis of journalism. That is the like, if journalists...
It's overreach.
If journalists swore a Hippocratic oath, it would be, we will not let management dictate what to put in the news, because that is not journalism, that's propaganda. But anyways... management pulled their story down. IGN Israel posted a bunch of fucking shit about how, like, it's a bipartisan issue. We don't want people to think we're in favor of one side or the other. Fuck off. Bunch of horse shit. And more propaganda out of there. But the writers, the staff at IGN, have come out since and said, we did not support pulling this. In fact, we put ourselves out there posting it. We are worried about potential repercussions, so on and so forth. And it sounds like the staff really put themselves out there to get that message out. So if you are going to shit on IGN, at least know it's going to the right place. IGN, man. Last year. Was that last year they were stealing reviews? I think that was last year. What is time, gentlemen? Podcast at TalkingReckless.com is a video game address if you want to write in some thoughts. Or you can drop these in our Discord, which you can find by going to the website, TalkingReckless.com. Click on the old Discord button. Weird, I typed in my email and it says, what is your age and gender? Male, female? Send the PSN gift cards. Tune into Tron if you want to hear me dead drop PSN gift cards to a shadowy individual. No, this is all right. This is a fake email. Great. No emails this week. but you can always write in your thoughts here. Next week, I don't know if we're gonna be on next week. I'm gonna be theoretically out of my place. What's next Sunday? Is the 29th. No, I'll be like moving big shit. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next week. Might not hear from me. Me being the podcast might not make it on air with the move and everything, but we'll be on the week after. If not, I'm not too sure what's gonna happen there yet. Andrew Captain, you look like you have something on your mind here to get out before we say farewell.
No, I don't. I'm
pensive,
good.
pensive. You're leaning forward.
No, I'm really good. I had to adjust. I was leaning on my back the whole time, so I just had to adjust position a little bit. No, my final thoughts are, maybe dip into Destiny and practice your shotgun skills so we can win some Iron Banners here before
Just like ends. I don't want to raid with Warren if he uses that fucking sword. I don't want to PvP with you if you use that fucking bow, Andy.
I am up there with you every single
time.
Brandon
Lynch, imagine you could be ahead. You could be better than me, Andy. If you weren't, take off the weighted clothing. Brandon Lynch.
I use all the right weapons.
You, Brandon, yes, places. I will raid with you any day, Brandon. I'll follow you into the vault of hell, let alone the vault of glass.
That's right.
To you at home, thank you very much for listening. Rate and review us on wherever you get this podcast, if you wouldn't mind. I think we're a 5-star podcast. Hopefully you do too. Go check out the Patreon if you're a video viewer on the YouTube. You can see my kitty. Oh, she's not having it. Here, kitty. Oh, there you go. You can see my kitty cat if you come watch the YouTube. Look at that. What a good kitty she is. She's very hungry. She hasn't been fed in almost 12 hours, so she's pretty much ready to tear my arm off.
Someone call the cops.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been able to hear her. She's been meowing the whole time because, oh, she's just wasting away. We'll see you next week here on the Video Game Podcast that I call Talking Reckless. We'll see you then. Stop biting.